Hello folks, and welcome to another solo gaming playthrough with me, the Lone Adventurer. Today I'm going to be playing through a game called Scrap. This is a game that I've played before. I'll put a link to the first video up in the corner of the screen. If you haven't seen that one, it might be worth watching that one first, because probably I go through the rules in a bit more detail than I will in this video. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel. Please do consider liking this video and subscribing if you enjoy watching a guy playing through games on his own. Now, I recently asked in my community feed whether people enjoyed watching games being played multiple times. And the general consensus seemed to be yes, which is good news, because there's a game or two that I wanted to come back to. I've got a lot of games that I haven't played yet, so it's not like I'm not running out of games to play. I've got a lot of different things that I really would like to get to, but that doesn't mean that games that I've already covered should be completely forgotten about. And one of these games that I want to play again is Scrap. I want to play this game again partly because it's just a really fun, quick little game, and also because the first time I played on camera with Alf, I had an absolutely horrific score. I scored 7 points. So I've played again since then, and I played as a character called Ray. He had a bit more luck. Now, I think I messed up the rules slightly, but then Ray died quite quickly. Well, Ray died at location 5 anyway. And one of the things you might notice about Ray here is the different medium that is being used. Drawing in pen. Now, this may be more exciting for me than you, but you know, if you're a regular viewer of the channel who ends up squinting at my little pencil scrawls, you may be as thrilled as I am to discover the existence of erasable pens. Now, a viewer called Gormangast8858 actually brought these to my attention. I think he mentioned them to me more than once, and a few days ago on the Escape the Zone playthrough he mentioned them again, and I thought, well, maybe it is time to check those out. So I did, and this was my first go with them. And you can see I had to rub out a couple of things, and hopefully they are easier to view. So in honour of Gormangast8858, I'll do a little demonstration here, rubbing out their name, and you can see just how effective these things are. Check it out. Job done. You can still see it, but it's going to make it, at least I can, but it's going to make hopefully these videos, a lot of which are very writing based, a lot more pleasant to watch. So there we go. Thanks Gormangast8858 for that suggestion. But let's get on with Scrap, shall we? And play a nice little game of that. So we need a new character since Ray died. Alf, looks like Alf died. Scrappy made enough to retire somewhere, so he's not coming back. So I think we're going to have a new character, and he's going to be called Scally. Alright, Scally, very best of luck to you. And this is one of the things that's nice about this game. That's all you have to do. Think of a name, and then you make a start. So we're going to roll for our first location. 6. Well, that bodes well, doesn't it? That's the Moonshine Megalith, which is a good place to be scrapping. So I need to draw the Moonshine Megalith. And it says here we're going to gain 1 HP. Do you max out at 3 HP? Can you have more than 3 HP? Oh no, it's a maximum of 3 HP. So I'm not going to gain any HP. But I will gain 3 scrap on my first scrap roll. So we put a +3 here to remind us that that's going to happen. Then we need to roll 2d6 for the event and the outcome at this location. A 1 and a 5. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That was me getting excited that I'd found my way to the Moonshine Megalith. So you have to choose to assign the 1 to either the event or the outcome, and then the 5 goes to the other option. Now, the issue here is raiders result in -2 HP or -1 scrap of highest value. Now, I don't have any scrap at the moment, so I think I'm going to be a little bit creative here, because I don't really feel like leaving this first location with absolutely nothing. So maybe this is cheating, maybe it's not, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say we're going to take the 1 for the event, which is the raiders, and the 5 for the outcome, which means that we do 1 scrap roll. And I'm going to say that the raiders steal 1 of my scrap as I am hunting around this location, because I don't want to lose 2 HP on the first roll. That would be an absolute disaster. So we're going to do our scrap roll at Moonshine Megalith. Remember, we're going to get +3, but then the raiders are going to take 1 item from us. 1! That's rubbish. I mean, look, at some of these go up to a scrap value of 7. Okay, so some Moonstone Shards. And remember, so we would normally get 1 Moonstone Shard. We're getting +3, so 4, but the raiders are taking 1, so we're going to go down to 3. And they're of a value 2 each. First night, you don't have to roll for the night goblin, but each subsequent night we will. So we're going to go on to location number 2 and find out what that is. Did you see that? Was that on camera, off camera? I'm not sure, but it's the Moonshine Megalith again, which is tremendous news. So back at the Moonshine Megalith. Don't quite like my moon as much this time. Okay, which means we're going to get +3 scrap. And let's roll for the event and outcome, and hopefully it'll be a bit more successful this time. Oh, look at that, 5 and 6. Tends to be that higher numbers are better, I think. Sort of. Certainly no low numbers are not good. So our options for the event are Fallen Scav, which might give us some extra scrap, and Dupe Glitch, which will give us an additional 1 of any currently owned scrap, so that's less desirable. And really, you want to use a 6 on the outcome table, because 6 is abundant, which means we get 2 scrap rolls, which at this location could be really big. So we're going to take 5 as the Fallen Scav, roll 1d6, if odd, we'll get some extra scrap. And it's even, so that's no good. Maybe I need to just bring this down slightly. Alright, so we're not getting the additional scrap from that. Put the little sad face there. But we are getting 2 scrap rolls, which is good news. And we're getting +3 on the first scrap roll. Here we go, let's have some luck here. 1. Appalling. Moonstone Shards. Fine. So we're getting 1 Moonstone Shard +3 Moonstone Shards, so an additional 4. Here comes the Eraser. Exciting times. 3 plus an additional 4, so we're going to go up to 7. There we go. And then we're going to do one more scrap roll, but we're just going to get 1 of this item. 2. Rubbish. So that's another moonstone shard. So we've been mooching around the moonshine megalith, ignoring the lunar fragments, ignoring the ritual scroll, and just hoarding loads and loads of moonstone shards. Alright, so we're going to roll for the night goblin this time. If we roll, if the result must meet or exceed the current number of days in order to not get accosted by the night goblin. So if I roll a 1, the night goblin's going to do something crappy to me. 1. Fantastic. Alright, so we roll. Oh man, why am I always so unlucky when I'm playing on camera? So we're going to roll on this table to see what the irritating goblin does. 2. -2 of the highest value scrap. So he's going to take 2 of our moonstone shards. So we're going to go back down to 6. Man. On to location number 3. 1. Putrid Plains. Also known as the location with the rubbishest stuff. Right, so what happens here? Roll 1d6. 6, what does that mean? Gain 1 wartworm. Alright, so I think that just means we sort of get an instant bit of scrap. Yep, so we get 1 wartworm, which has got a value of 2. Event and outcome. 1 and 3, that's appalling. Absolutely appalling. So my options are to lose 1 piece of scrap or to drop 1 piece of scrap. Well, that's the same. Oh no, the raiders would take the highest value, but that makes no difference to me, it's the same. So we're going to have some raiders take our highest value bit of scrap. So I guess they're going to take a moonstone shard. And then the 3 means we just get 1 scrap roll. Okay, so we're going down to 5 moonstone shards. Dear oh dear. And actually, it's starting to struggle. I'm just sort of interested to see what happens when you rub out multiple times. It is starting to struggle a little bit with the rubbing out. Right, so what are we doing? We are doing 1 scrap roll. Okay, so the best case scenario is we roll a 6 and get another wartworm. 1, we get a rot shroom, which has got a value of 1. Alright, is the night goblin gonna get us on a roll of 1 or 2? 6. Safe from the night goblin. Okay, new location. Putrid Plains again. Right. So we're rolling 1d6 on the Putrid Plains. We're gaining 1 wartworm. So that's going to go up to 2 wartworms. Event and outcome. 6 and 3. Okay, well, I don't really feel like dropping 1 piece of scrap because, well, maybe I could. Actually, maybe I should, because it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, getting 2 scrap rolls in this location doesn't really count for much. So, yeah, what I'll do is I'll do the 6 for the event, which is a dupe glitch. So I'll get +1 of any currently owned scrap. So let's do that. Just mark my wartworm. Notice every single event has an icon, and you just pop that icon so you've got a little record of what you did. +1 of any scrap, and obviously I'm going to go, well, let's go +1 wartworm. I don't really have anything of value. I mean, this would be a very different story if I'd found something exciting on one of my visits to the Moonshine Megalith, but no, just picking up the rubbish stuff. So that's that, and then we're going to get just the 1 roll, as normal, and it's a rot shroom, so we're getting an extra rot shroom. And it's the night again, so the night goblin's going to get us on a roll of 1, 2 or 3. Safe from the night goblin, at least that's going in our favour. On to day number 5. Okay, so at the rotted ruins. And what happens here? Oh, you just get +2 scrap. So our first scrap roll will get +2 scrap. Event and outcome. Oh, that's brutally bad. So I think what we're going to have to do is have 1 be the raiders and have the raiders take 1 scrap of highest value. Okay, that doesn't really matter, does it? So they're going to take 1 of my wart worms, taking me down to 2 wart worms. Yeah, the pen doesn't really like going over the same bit of paper more than 2 or 3 times, it seems. Still working though. And then the 2 means that we are trapped. So we lose 1 HP, but we still get a scrap roll. So we're going to lose 1 HP. And we still get a scrap roll. So let's do our scrap roll, which remember we're doing at +2. In the rotted ruins, 3 rusted tech. Apparently I'm destined to find nothing with value of more than 2. But at least I'm getting 3 rusted tech. So let's roll to see whether the night goblin gets us. So we've got to roll a... If we roll a 1, 2, 3 or 4, he does. Yes, he does. Okay, and what does he do? Grimy. -2 highest value scrap. Okay, well he takes 2 of our rusted tech, taking me down to 1 rusted tech. Tough game. Alright. And our final location is going to be the rotted ruins again. Okay, well that's good. Alright, and at the rotted ruins we get +2 scrap, which is definitely a bonus. Hopefully we'll get just something on this final location. Ooh, 1 and 4. So 4, we don't want to do 1, which would be no scrap rolls. So we're going to have to encounter the raiders again. These raiders have been hot on Scally's tail this whole game. We've encountered the raiders 4 times. For the record, we encountered the raiders 4 times. That's how unlucky we were. So once again, Scally is going to get stripped of his highest value scrap because, I mean, he doesn't have much going for him anyway. So 1 wart worm is going to get pilfered, taking him down to 1. So then we're just getting a success in the outcome, so just a standard 1 scrap roll. Rotted ruins, here we go. 4. Old cloth, which believe it or not is worth 3. So this old cloth that I've just found, worth 3, and we're actually finding 3 of them. So that's the most valuable find we have. So I guess we're going to have 1 more encounter with the night goblin. If he takes my cloth, I'm going to be super annoyed. 4. So he is going to do something. 4. Filth. -1 of the highest value scrap. So he is going to take my cloth, but he's only going to take 1 of them. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Okay, so there you go. Scally is all tuckered out. A long week of scrapping in the wasteland. And how much scrap did he get? 21 points of scrap. Which is not amazing. Especially considering he spent, you know, a third of his time in the Moonshine Megalith. Moonshrine Megalith. Have I been saying Moonshine? Which is obviously homemade booze? I'm not sure. Moonshrine Megalith. But he did better than Alf. And I feel like that was probably a more balanced representation of how this game tends to go. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Do consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more adventures just like this one, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.